Today, on a date of 5-4, the Fed has raised the short term borrowing interest rate by half a percentage point. This is the worst inflation America has seen in 40 years. In 1980, during the time, 1982, during the time of Ronald Reagan, who was the 40th president of the United States, because after Reagan, we had H.W., we had Clinton, and then we had George Bush. It's the first time in 22 years that the central bank has hiked rates this much during a time of crisis. Crisis is gematria of, I thought crisis had gematria of 32. Well, what they're doing is they're trying to avert a crash in the housing market. Crash is gematria of 22. But are they going to prevent mortgages now with the cost of borrowing being higher by raising the interest rate? No, they're full of shit, because that ain't going to do anything when these investment firms are still allowed, these international investment firms, without any regulation from the government, are allowed to buy up all the housing with cash. Meaning that if you qualify for a mortgage, well, this corporation with all the cash at hand is going to buy that house and rent it above market value. That is the biggest scam. This is how you know that housing is not going to cool off right now. Everything from cars to credit cards to bank loans are going to cost more because of the interest rate increase from the Fed. Interest rates rising, well, because of the post-coronavirus economy. Coronavirus is gematria up 56. Auto loans are super high too, because they can't make those chips from other countries. Those semiconductor parts, auto loans have gotten more expensive too. It is inverted star. It is coronavirus. It is interest rates. That's gematria 56. The main thing to know is that 2.2 trillion of direct COVID relief was passed, and the interest rate was raised for the first time in 22 years. Now, who's to blame for all of this? Oh, is it the Democrats? Well, they're sure not acting and doing something about preventing, helping out the economy. But the fact is China is shutting down cities. There are delays in manufacturing. There's outright price gouging by corporations to make up for the lost profits of 2020. It's still hard for car parts to be made in other places. There's shortages of those materials. Demand has skyrocketed with the economy fully reopened. Supply's not keeping up with demand. There are not enough port workers, but the beast has risen today on a date of May the 4th. Look out. They're trying to avert a crash. Will the housing market go down? They'll keep on buying the houses, now that's for sure. They'll continue to price gouge us. We don't know when China is going to stop their lockdowns. They're going to start manufacturing stuff. It's a very, very dark times, but if the Republican Party gets in charge again, they're going to do absolutely nothing about this. They're going to continue to let corporations price gouge you. The biggest corporate culprit making the money worth less is the fact that over 80% of the COVID relief bill went to the top 1% in the cronies of Trump, in the corporate Democratic establishment, the GOP et al. When money goes towards corporate bonds, it doesn't go towards the economy. It just sits. It means that it becomes worthless, the money. Donald Trump is to blame for this. The legacy of Donald Trump getting rid of the COVID oversight watchdog is still ringing bells when we see this event today on May the 4th. 1 year, 3 months. We see the 13 there, 3 months, 14 days. Time to raise the rate. The bubble can't continue forever. Crisis, gematria 7732, bubble. The bubble is gematria of 77 and 32. You think Biden was 77 years old, whatever, when he was elected? Very, very dark times.